It's mid-April. These are what my tomato seedlings look like. This time last year, my tomato seedlings were already potted up and they were ready to go. We were just waiting for the weather to warm up. These are tiny right now. These will take at least another 4 weeks before they're ready to go outside. Am I worried? No, not particularly, and I'm going to get into why that is. Welcome to my channel. I'm a vegetable gardener in Ohio Zone 6A. And as I mentioned this time last year, my tomato seedlings were much bigger. I had already potted them up once, maybe even twice, and they were pretty much ready to go outside as soon as the weather warmed up. This year, we are not at that stage. We are tiny. We barely have any true leaves. So if you are at the same stage as I am, or if you haven't even started your tomatoes just yet, you might be afraid that, oh, I'm not going to get a harvest. I'm going to get a reduced harvest. I'm too late. La la la. That is not necessarily the case, and we're going to get into why in this video. So calm down. You're going to be okay. So why am I not worried? And why should you not be worried if your seedlings are teeny tiny like mine are? Well, the main reason is I am in Ohio Zone 6A, which you're probably in a similar zone to me. I have at least 4 weeks before these guys need to go outside. They will be going out in mid-May. So they have 4 weeks to put on some growth, get a solid root ball, have their true leaves, be little strong, little small, but solid little seedlings. When you put tomatoes out in the right environment, when it's warm and sunny, you don't put them out too early, you don't put them out too large, which we'll get into, they thrive. They will catch up so fast to larger seedlings that are put out at the same time. So I'm not worried about putting them out when they're really small because I know they will catch up. However, if I were to grow these and let them get really big indoors, I would run into a number of problems. One, they could get root bound. Their roots could start, twirling around and having problems. That's not good for a plant. That stresses it out. They might get way too leggy. That could be an issue. I'll have to pot them up at least once or twice, which will use a ton of space in here, I have limited space. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have all the space in the world for plants. And it just would be a problem. And then the larger seedlings going outdoors, I just feel like they would be more prone to transplant shock. Whereas small, compact, solid little seedlings are going to transplant better. I believe it in my core. They will. That's why I'm not worried about them being really small right now. And if I had to start right now, I wouldn't be worried either. I would start now. I wouldn't push it out any further, but I wouldn't be worried about it. So here is their home where I have them set up. They're super close to the light because I don't want them to get leggy. And here you can really see what size they're at. They're literally just getting their first true leaves now. I started them on April 6th. So 2 weeks. And yeah, that's where they're at. I got good germination for the most part. My Dr. White Cheese Yellow, which are the ones that I'm most excited about, only one of them germinated out of 3. So I am germinating some more in a damp paper towel. So essentially I'm starting these now. And again, I am not worried about it. They will be absolutely fine as long as they actually germinate, which hopefully they will. They will catch up. So nothing to worry about there. But yeah, that's kind of their setup. They're happy amongst the pepper plants and some basil. The pepper plants are huge. I already potted them up. Yeah, they're stressing me out a little bit, but they'll be okay too. We're okay. I suppose I should talk about how I'm kind of caring for them. So prior to germinating, I had a dome on them to keep the moisture in. I had pre-moistened the seed starting mix, so it was good. Once I took the dome off, the seedlings have sprouted. Since then, I've been bottom watering. Because you don't want to spray from the top or water from the top because it can cause fungal issues and things I've heard. So I'm trying to avoid that. In terms of feeding, now that they have some true leaves, I'm going to feed them very, very lightly. I'm using this. It's a balanced indoor plant food, and I'm doing it at a quarter strength. So nothing too harsh, and that should be plenty for them while they're indoors, which again is just for another like 4 or 5 weeks. Hopefully within that time, I won't need to pot them up. Maybe I'll have to pot them up once. If I do, I'm going to put them in one of these guys. I think that'll be big enough for the short term that we have them indoors. And then they will go outdoors to their permanent home, which I still haven't 100% figured out where that's going to be, but we'll get there. Yeah, so that's kind of how they're doing and how I'm caring for them right now. So yeah, in terms of your tomato seedlings, if they're teeny tiny like mine, or you are just starting them this weekend, the thing to remember, I think, is that it's still cold outside. We can still get a frost. You know, it's not the time of tomatoes. It's not their time to go outdoors. So we have time for them to size up a little bit. And by the time they get out there, it's going to be warm. By the time they're ready to go out there, it's going to be warm, sunny. The soil is going to be warm, and they will just catch up so fast. They will match those large seedlings you see that other people have. They will catch right up to those, and they will thrive. Hopefully, fingers crossed. If we're caring for them well at this stage, while they're little guys indoors, and I think part of the reasons we get stressed out is we see other people and they have these big, huge tomato plants already, and you're like, oh my God, mine are just seedlings. Maybe that was just me, but I was stressed. I was watching some videos. But they can have so many different reasons for doing that. They might just want to show what a tomato plant looks like at different stages, or they might have a ton of space where they can grow them indoors, which I certainly don't. I have this rack right now, and that's pretty much it. So I can't afford to have like 30 tomato plants, stacked up in here. I tried that last year and it was not fun. So I prefer to push it out and start them later. And again, like I said, when they get out there, they will just catch up. There's no need to worry. Just get them started now. If we're in the same zone and your frost is like mine, start this weekend. It's probably for the best. But other than that, there's no need to worry. So yes, these may be teeny tiny little guys, but trust me, come mid-May when they're ready to go out, you will see. They will, if you come back, which I hope you do, they will look totally different. And then June, July, oh my God, these are going to be huge. And that's something that always just amazes me, how these little tiny guys are going to become these huge fruit producing plants that are going to make the most delicious tomatoes, especially these white cheese, which is why I'm going to extra efforts to make sure I get them. Dr. White Cheese Yellow, so good. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful. If you're stressing out like I am, you're gonna be fine. Don't worry about it, and our mistakes help us learn. So I learned last year when I started way too many plants indoors way too early that it's not the way to go. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Please like, subscribe, comment, all the good YouTube things. And yeah, peace.